तो गुड इवनिंग मैम।
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, good evening.
Pavitra, do you have? Okay. Yeah.
वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू। मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू। ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन। तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से, तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से। पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू, पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू। ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन। तुझ पे कोई गम की आँच आने नहीं दूँ, तुझ पे कोई गम की आँच आने नहीं दूँ। कुर्बान मेरी जान तुझ पे शाद रहे तू, कुर्बान मेरी जान तुझ पे शाद रहे तू। ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू। ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, कहे तेरे जैसा कोई नहीं, मैं गाया जहां भी बस तेरी याद थी, जो मेरे साथ थी, मुझको तड़पाती रुलाती, सबसे प्यारी तेरी सूरत, प्यार है बस तेरा प्यार ही। माँ तुझे सलाम, माँ तुझे सलाम, अम्मा तुझे सलाम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम।
Good evening, sir. We'll be starting with the program in a few minutes. A very happy Independence Day to you, sir.
Everybody, happy Independence Day to you, each one of you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, we've prepared some videos which we would love you to enjoy for the time being. A very good evening to Raman sir as well. I wish you a very happy Independence Day, sir.
China will never, ever, accept a rising India to their level. I will like to assure you that there are no footprints of any kind, and if they attempt to establish their footprints, let me assure you that Indian Army, along with the other security agencies, will defeat them. We will not allow them to have any kind of presence here.
At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
Jawaharlal Nehru once said, "Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge." At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to greet everybody here today as India celebrates its 75th Independence Day. On this day, as the youth of this country, we should feel the immense pride of being citizens of a free nation. Today, we acknowledge the privilege of being born in a free India, thanks to our brave freedom fighters whose sacrifices have enabled us to live this life. Unfortunately, this year, due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Independence Day will be celebrated online in most public places to avoid social gatherings. However, we will not let this hamper the zeal in us for this monumental day. The ethos of our freedom struggle forms the foundation of modern India. When India won its freedom, many predicted that our experiment with democracy will not last long. They saw our rich cultural diversity as a barrier, but we nurtured it as our strength. And today, we are the largest democracy in the whole wide world. We are here today to celebrate that very spirit and to remember and salute the courageous souls that fought for the freedom of our country. Let's celebrate this day together, leaving all our differences behind. This is all from my side. Now you can sit back and cheer on the participants as we begin with the melodious and vibrant performances for today. Jai Hind.
Today, we celebrate the land of free and home of brave. Happy Independence Day to one and all present here. India is a country which is so diverse yet so unique. A country where we have so many different languages, cultures, cuisines, religions, yet what unites us is our love and spirit for the nation. We would like to welcome our guest of honor for the day, Lieutenant General Dr. K. Himalay Singh. Special invitees Dr. C.D. Naiju Sir, Assistant Director of Students Welfare, dignitaries of Vellore Host Lions Club, and K.C. Shri Haripriya Ma'am, Faculty Coordinator, Leo Club. We bring to you an evening to showcase our rich culture and heritage through dance, music, poetry, and instruments, which would be followed by a guest talk with our a talk session with our guests. So stay tuned. Let's begin this program with a welcome song by Reshma.
वैष्णव जन तो तेने कही जी पीढ़ पराए जाने रे पग दुखी उपकार करे तुए पग दुखी उपकार करे तुए मन अभिमान नाई रे सकल लोग मम सहुने वंदे निंदा न करे तेरी वाचकाच मन निश्चल रागे धन धन जननी तेरी रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहे जे पीढ़ पराए जानी रे हे वतन मेरे वतन हे वतन वतन मेरी आबाद रहे दो मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ मैं याद रहे दो हे वतन मेरे वतन तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रही तो पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रही तो है वतन मेरे वतन वो रांझन वे तेरी सांसों पे थोड़ा सा वतन का भी हक था ना देख मुझे यूं मुड़ मुड़ के तेरा मेरा साथ यही तकरा ये तेरी ज़मीं तेरे होने से ही तो सजती सवरती है राज तेरे इश्क की मैं हकदार नहीं तेरी हीर तो धरती है रांझे हाय तेरी मिठी मैं मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू तेरी नदियों में बह जाना देखी तो मैं लगावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू Thank you.
What a mesmerizing and soul-touching performance by Reshma. I hope all of you enjoyed her song. To honor the culture of music in India, we have one more student with us, Vishal, who will be playing the guitar and singing the song for us.
मैं गुजरने वाली हवा बता मेरा इतना काम करेगी क्या मेरे जान मेरे दिल से मेरे गाँव में है जो वो गली जहाँ रहती है मेरी दिलरुबा उसने प्यार उसे मेरे प्यार का जान वही कोई दूर मेरे घर में है मेरी बुआ मेरी इसे बेटी गुजरने वाली हवा मेरी दिल रुबा मेरी माँ को मेरा बयान दे, उसे जाके तू ये बयान दे। मैं वापस आऊंगा, मैं वापस आऊंगा, फिर अपने गाँव में उसी की छाँव में, माँ के आंचल से, गाँव के पीपल से, किसी के काजल से, किया जो वादा वो निभाऊंगा, मैं एक दिन आऊंगा, मैं एक दिन आऊंगा। Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal. This is truly one of the most meaningful songs ever written, and every time anyone listens to this song, I'm sure they get goosebumps. India is a country known for its rich cultural heritage. I believe that India is one of the very few countries where the citizens are able to celebrate their own regional culture along with being able to be patriotic towards their nation. VIT LEO Club celebrates the rich cultural heritage of our country on this great occasion. We have with us a few students of VIT from different cultural backgrounds here to speak a few lines about the states they belong to. First of all, we have got Praveen Vashne representing the state of Uttar Pradesh.
Namaste. I am Praveen representing the state of UP. The culture of Uttar Pradesh swears by its rich historical past with its roots from Urdu. It is believed to be the land of the Nawabs of Rama and Buddha of Taj Mahal. Thank you and wish you the happy Independence Day to all of you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Praveen. Uttar Pradesh is indeed a great state and is home to many freedom fighters like Bhagwan Das and Lal Bahadur Shastri. Prajwal, could you tell us more about Uttar Pradesh?
Yeah, Namaste. I am from Uttar Pradesh. This state boasts of a vivid culture and architectural finesse and is synonymous with vibrant hues, delectable cuisine, timeless traditions, monumental heritage, and astounding music. Happy Independence Day, everyone. Jai Hind.
Indeed, it was wonderful to learn so much about Uttar Pradesh. Next up, we've got Annapurna, who will be talking about the state of Andhra Pradesh.
Namaste. Andhra Pradesh tourism has always been the fortuner in attracting greatest number of tourists, inland and foreign, as it boasts of a naturally, ecologically, culturally, and regionally rich and diverse variety of tourist destinations that are treasures of visual treat. While one continuously can explore new experiences and visitor gratification and delight, there are many places to visit like Bora Caves, Araku, Dindi, Lepakshi, Tushikonda Beach, Gaddikonda, and Lambasingi, and many more. At the end, అందరికీ స్వాతంత్ర్య దినోత్సవ శుభాకాంక్షలు.
Annapurna, thank you so much. In fact, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan himself was from Andhra Pradesh, who is a great inspiration for all. Next, we have Preet Rawal representing Gujarat.
Jai Hind, Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, the state where freedom fighters like Mahatma Gandhi, Sardar Patel, and many others came from. નવરાત્રી અમારો મુખ્ય તહેવાર છે. નવરાત્રી જોઈએ ને જોઈએ જ આપણને. સ્વતંત્રતા દિવસની હાર્દિક શુભકામનાઓ તમને સૌને.
A very sweet spoken dialect of Gujarat. I'm sure everyone enjoys some Gujarati language. Next up, we have with us Arjun representing the state of Maharashtra.
Good evening, everyone. I'm representing Maharashtra today. I'm wearing a saffron color kurta because saffron or kesari color was a part of the great Maratha Empire's flag. And now it is also a part of our Indian flag. The saffron color resembles strength and courage, and I am pretty sure everyone knows about the courage of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. माझ्या करून तुम्हा सर्वांना स्वतंत्र दिनाचा हार्दिक शुभेच्छा. धन्यवाद.
Arjun, who can forget about the Maratha Empire? We all have studied that in our schools. Next, we have Chandrashish representing Uttarakhand.
Hello everyone and namaskar. I'm Chandrashish and I'll be talking about Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand, as we know it, is the land of the mountains and, of course, home to the world famous sweet of pal mithai. One thing I can assure you is no matter how hard the terrain of Uttarakhand is to live in, the people are equally soft and loving. आप सभी को मेरी तरफ से स्वतंत्रता दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. जय हिंद.
Yes, indeed, the people of Uttarakhand are sweet. We can see that from you. Next, we have Ekansh representing Rajasthan.
Due to some technical difficulties, Ekansh won't be able to join us right now. Next, we have Shazia talking about the state of Kerala.
Hi, I'll be talking about Kerala. Namaskaram. Kerala, God's own country, is a beautiful place towards the southern west region of India, known for its hill station, backwaters, and the coconut trees, of course. Kerala is rich with its natural beauty and cultural heritage. We come together on Onam to welcome Mahabali with Sadhya and Payasam. We are known for our Malabari love and our amazing poems and songs. And with that, എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ ഹൃദയം നിറഞ്ഞ സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യദിന ആശംസകൾ.
Kerala is indeed beautiful as God's own country. So next we have Nishi, who would be telling us about Odisha.
Namaskar, this is Nishi here representing the state of Odisha. Odisha, once known as Odisha, is the birthplace of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and it's a place with lots of architectural wonders, from heritage sites to enthralling views, from beaches to pilgrimages. We have got it all over here. And not forgetting to mention the cuisines. The rasgullas, podopithas, and kakaras over here are famous all over the world. And with this, I say thank you.
Listening about Odisha. Listening about Odisha, it definitely makes it one of the topmost place on any travel list. Next up, we have got Pooja, who will be talking about Tamil Nadu.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். This is Pooja representing Tamil Nadu. Known for its rich heritage, varied culture, and incredible architecture, Tamil Nadu is home to many great scholars like Thiruvalluvar, Bharatiyar, and Kambar, to name a few. Tamil Nadu is also famous for its incredible Chettinad cuisine and Kanji Pattu. வாழ்க தமிழ் வளர்க தமிழ்நாடு. தாங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என் இனிய சுதந்திர தின நல்வாழ்த்துக்கள். ஜெய் ஹிந்த்.
I really admire the culture of Tamil Nadu. They've preserved it really well. Next we have A.S. Lalita representing Andhra Pradesh.
Hello everyone, I'm Lalita and I'm representing the state Andhra Pradesh, which is home to some of the finest and historical cloth making fashion traditions of the world. Andhra Pradesh is also one such place which always had a very rich culture. A collection of performing arts have originated here, including dance, music, and drama. Andariki Swatantrata Dinotsavam Subhakankshalu.
Varshi looking super smart and good in the traditional dress of Andhra Pradesh. Next up, we have with us Pabitra Laha talking about the state of West Bengal.
Hello everybody, I am from Bengal, the sweetest part of India. Bengal is a land of rich cultural heritage. It has given India great leaders like Subhash Chandra Bose, 3 Nobel laureates, Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore, famous economist and philosopher, Amartya Sen and Abhijit Banerjee. It's also given India an Oscar-winning filmmaker, Satyajit Roy, the land of renowned poets, great leaders, religious brotherhood, and mouth-watering sweets, and the man who gave us our national anthem. I want to wish everybody Shubh Shadinata Divas. Namaskar.
Not only the Rasgulla, the language of West Bengal is also really sweet. Next up, we have Harsh Garg, who would be telling us about Punjab.
Sat Sri Akal ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ. I represent the land of saints and warriors, the land of 5 rivers, the land of Punjab. Valor and patriotism is in the blood of every Punjabi. We Punjabis are very proud of our rich culture. Chole bhature, makki di roti, te sarson da saag, we Punjabis don't shy away from our way to place the taste buds. Great architectural marvels like the Golden Temple, Taran Taran Sahib, and many more are also the pride of Punjab. Punjabi music and dance are also very popular and expressive. Great freedom fighters like Shahid Bhagat Singh, Lala Lajpat Rai, Udham Singh, Sukhdev, and Rajguru were born on this land. ਇਸ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਨ ਸ਼ਹੀਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਮਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਦੇ ਦਿਹਾੜੇ ਦੀ ਢੇਰ ਸਾਰੀ ਸ਼ੁਭਕਾਮਨਾਵਾਂ। ਜੈ ਹਿੰਦ।
It was wonderful to hear about some of the most bravest and jolliest people from India. Next up, we have got Sujit, who will be talking about the state of Karnataka.
Ellarigu namaskara. I am Sujit, representing Karnataka. Karnataka tourism has its slogan saying, "One state, many worlds." And I think that line is enough to talk about the tourism that is in Karnataka. We have great tourist attractions like Mysuru and Coorg, which is also known as the Scotland of India. Bengaluru, the capital city of Karnataka, is the IT hub of our country, one of the IT hubs of our country. And this city attracts maximum people for its job opportunities and the weather. And with that, Ellarigu Swatantra Dina Subhashagalu. Thank you.
Karnataka is really beautiful and it's also a technical hub. So really good to visit there. Also, we missed Ekansh. Now he is here, so he would be telling us about Rajasthan.
Hi everyone, Khammagani. I am from the state of the royal people, the state of the Rajasthan. It's famous for its royal food, especially dal bati churma and ghevar. There is a wise saying here: wear like Rajasthani, live like Rajasthani, and eat like Rajasthani. I hope this will remind you of the. We also have various tourist places which attract people from all over the world. Thank you. Happy Independence Day.
Thank you so much, Ekansh. It was great having you here. Thanks for taking your time out. Okay, so it was really good to listen to you all. You know, everyone was wearing their cultural dresses, and listening to it gave me such a feeling of unity amongst all the Indians. Thank you all. So it is said that dance is the hidden language of the soul. And to represent her patriotism and love for the country, next up we have Nishi with a dance performance.
Hello everyone. I wish every one of you a very happy Independence Day. And now I'm going to perform a short dance for all of you. And also I request to pin my screen for a better view. Starting in a bit. यहाँ हर everyone for giving me this opportunity. I hope you guys liked it.
Indeed, we loved it, Nishi. It was a very graceful performance from your side, and we have this opportunity of witnessing the culture of India in such a beautiful art form. That is a very great thing. So the culture of India is also influenced by the various poets that have been over here, that have lived in this country. We have inspirational poets such as Rabindranath Tagore and our very own Nightingale, Sarojini Naidu, who have motivated millions of people to lay their lives for the country. Respecting that tradition and honoring their sentiments, we have with us Preet Rawal, who will be reciting a few lines of poetry for us.
शुरू करने से पहले एक शेर पढ़ना चाहूंगा। रकीब रकीब इबादत इश्क हमने भी की है, पर कमबख्त फर्क बस इतना है, हमने वतन से की, तुमने सनम से की है। जीने का शौक नहीं रखता, मरने का खौफ नहीं रखता। जीने का शौक नहीं रखता, मरने का खौफ नहीं रखता। ले चलूं मैं तिरंगा युद्ध में या सरहद पे, मातृभूमि वादा है इस पुत्र का। या तिरंगा लहरा क्या होगा या उस तिरंगे में लिपटा हुआ होगा। पता है मुझे माँ बहुत रोएगी, बहन अब राखी बांध नहीं पाएगी। बीवी विधवा होगी, बेटी के सर से बाप का साया जाएगा, पर याद ये रहेगा मेरे घर को, मेरे बेटा, मेरा भाई, मेरा पति, मेरा पिता वीर गति को प्राप्त हुए हैं। देश के लिए जिए जब तक वो जिंदा थे, बस एक एहसान करना हम पे राजनेताओं। हम शहीद हुए, हम लोगों पे राजनीति का कालिंग पड़ने मत देना, क्योंकि कालिंग हम पे नहीं हमारे तिरंगे पे पड़ेगा, वो हमें मंजूर नहीं। जय हिंद, जय मातृभूमि, भारत माता की जय। शुक्रिया।
Great lines of poetry, instilling all that valor into us. So that was amazing. Now, it doesn't take a hero to order men into battle. It takes a hero to be one of those men who goes into a battle. VIT LEO Club is honored to invite Dr. K. Himalay Singh, a former Lieutenant General of the Indian Army and the first military officer from Manipur to reach the ranks of Brigadier and Major General. He is even the author of Making of a General, in which he effectively brings to light the innate challenges faced by army personnel in one of the most formidable forces in the world, and gives a vivid portrayal of the happenings that bring out the deep sense of pride, honor, and valor of the men he commanded. I request you, sir, to kindly share a few words of wisdom with all of us on this auspicious day.
Namaskar, Jai Hind, everybody.
Jai Hind, sir.
And I wish you a very, very happy 75th Independence Day. Firstly, I'm thankful to you all, particularly Mr. Umair of Leo Club, who spoke to me to invite, and also Chandrasis Kukreti, who has been very kind to introduce me, and Miss Dave, of course, and the sterling performance of the cultural abilities of some of you, to name Roshan's song, Visal's song, and Miss Acharya's dance, and Mr. Rawal's Kavita. So what a way to celebrate. What immediately comes to my mind is that having served for 40 years in the Indian Armed Forces, having lived in every state of India, and also
many countries abroad, I find that our India is the best. There is nothing like our India. Unity in diversity. 3,000 castes, subcastes, and various ethnic groups we have. 3,000. This is what Ambedkar, while writing the constitution during the constitutional debate, said that we have 3,000 ethnic groups. Yet we have the most vibrant democracy. And this freedom that has been won by our forefathers, it is our duty to protect it. Let me assure you that winning freedom is no less or no more challenging than preserving the freedom itself. Preserving the freedom is also a huge challenge in today's world. Since I am from the army, whatever you are seeing in Afghanistan as we speak now, the Taliban is yet to almost taken over. You have seen what China has done in our northern frontiers. And you have seen what Pakistan and many other challenging, situations which are arriving in our neighborhood. This is for people like you and me. Particularly you all, the young people, the future of India, to protect the freedom, to protect sovereignty of our country. You don't need to be an army man or air force or the navy man to protect the freedom. As a scientist, as an engineer, as a teacher, as a parent, as a citizen, in any walk of life, you can do it. And people are doing it. My troops were from Kerala, from Tamil Nadu, from Gujarat, Bengal, Assam, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, everywhere. But of course, during the Kargil war, I was commanding mostly troops from Rajasthan, the Rajputs, and the Gujar community as a young colonel in 1999. That was a challenge. The Kargil war was nothing but to protect our sovereignty, to protect the interests of our country, and to protect the people of our country. And no sacrifice is too much when it comes to our country's sovereignty. So therefore, I would like to call upon each one of you, live your dreams. Live your dreams, but make a small piece of your dream.
I think we are facing some network issues from server side. Please bear with us for a few moments while we resolve this.
Could you hear me? There was some...
Yes, sir, there was some network issue.
Okay. So, and Mr. Churchill, during World War II said, ask not what the country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. That is how, in the Battle of Britain, just 300 Air Force pilots, Royal Air Force pilots in the Battle of Britain defended the small island of United Kingdom, the British. The Japanese, they lost the war, but because of their kamikaze pilots, they created havoc in the elite American and United States Navy. Similarly, our soldiers from Karnataka, you know the Galwan incident. Our soldiers from Punjab and every part of our country have contributed in preserving the sovereignty of our country. It is not only soldiers, it is our scientists, our teachers, our students, and our farmers. Everybody is involved. I remember during Kargil War, it was the students from various states, particularly Gujarat, Maharashtra, and various other states, who wrote to me that, Uncle, I quote, Uncle, defend our country, kill the Pakistanis, I unquote. So that is what the school students wrote to me. I mean, I still have some of those in my unit. And also it was the song, patriotic songs by Lata Mangeshkar, Ye Mere Vatan Ke, and things like that. These are the motivational. When the people are behind the armed forces, they can deliver. You have seen in Afghanistan, people were not behind their army and they collapsed, they melted away. So when we say the strength of the nation, it is everybody together. And I like to quote, just for a little, we can talk if there are any questions. One line from Upanishad, I quote, "You are what your deepest desire is. As you desire, so is your intention. As your intention, so is your will. As your will, so is your deeds. And as your deeds, so is your destiny." Unquote. This is from the Upanishads. So to each one of you, I will only say that if you are inspired by something big, something special, for a great purpose, then let me assure you, even the stars, planets will connive to take you to the place where you want to go. Everything, all your mind and all your luck and all your conscious will evolve to get you where you want to be, only if you're inspired from within, and also what your deepest desire is, truly the deepest desire. So if you follow this, to each one of you, I think you would have had a very successful life. With this, I wish each one of you a very, very happy Independence Day. Good luck, best wishes in all your endeavors. What a great pleasure to be invited for young technocrats and future scientists and future pillars of our country. I was told that after this, I should be prepared to have an interaction in the form of question and answers. I am available for whatever time you wish to for any kind of questions and answers. This is all I have to say. Live your dreams. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for those wonderful and inspiring words. I think that the words you said, that you don't need to be army men or military men or air force or navy men in order to protect the freedom of our nation, is something which is very good and a very strong message for all of us. Now I would request the dignitaries of Lions Club to please address.
Good evening, all. Happy Independence Day. I'm Lion Kodan Raman, President of Lions Club of Vellore, host. I congratulate, sir, thank you, sir. It was a very good speech. And your quote on from the Upanishad was superb, sir. Everybody should follow that. Thanks a lot, sir. And I congratulate all the VIT LEO Club members and the president for having this wonderful meeting and celebrating our 75th Independence Day. Thank you all. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to, I have a few questions for Dr. Himalaya Singh. I would like to ask them to you, sir. The first question that I have, sir, is that how did you imagine military life before you joined? How did your perception change after serving, if it changed at all?
Kukriti, one of my well-wisher, one of my elders who guided me in the army was Major General Kukriti. He is no more. And let me tell you, coming back to your question, I imagined the army to be, I'm speaking from Manipur. It is one of the easternmost state. And since each one of you spoke about the various states, now that I'm settled here, let me also talk about Manipur was a scene of World War II, the Battle of Imphal and Kohima, one of the most, the decisive battles of World War II, where Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's Indian National Army, the only place where he had raised the Indian flag was in Manipur at a place called Moirang. And so I'm speaking from there. So Manipur there has been a culture of tradition of martial traditions of fighting for centuries, particularly with Burmese kingdoms, and also the environment that we stay here. The fighting culture has been there for quite some time, and I had a dream of becoming an army officer, thinking that it was bed of roses. But it is slightly different in the sense that whatever you do in the army is full of adventure, particularly in the fighting arms. It is full of adventure. And in fact, I found army life to be far better, far, far sweeter than what I had imagined it to be. Even it involved sleeping in an ice cave for 3 nights in an ice cave. Even if it meant staying in minus 55 degrees in Siachen Glacier, or even 50 degrees Celsius in very hot conditions in Punjab or Rajasthan deserts, or even going without food for days together. But the sweetest songs of my life has been to be with the troops from all over India. So I think I found my dream come true and really enjoyed whatever it was, though it was slightly different from what I had imagined to be.
This is the true beauty of Indian Army officers, that even for them, a very hard task, which can be for the general public, such as sleeping in a nice cave, is something they can laugh off and talk about in a funny way. That is amazing. And the Major General you were talking about, sir, he is a relative to my grandfather, and I have never personally met him. But when I talked to my father about today's chief guest, he let me know that your relative was once posted in the army over there. So now we have Urva, who I think has some questions for you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I was always curious about the training process for the recruitment. When we recruit personals for the army, how is the training? How was the training when you were recruited? Is it like too harsh? And what are the things that you needed? Um,
Okay. Thank you for your question, Urba. First thing is, as a lady officer, because since I'm answering to you, right now we in the army we have the ladies in the officer cadre only, except in the military police. So there is a training differential for the officer cadre and other ranks. That is the soldiers, normal soldier. So the training for officer cadre and training for the soldiers for that 1 year period or 2 years of depending on which if you are a engineering graduate and you want to join like core engineers or core electrical mechanical engineers or core of telecom, there are many services which you can join, and that training for 11 months is what lady officers will go through. There will be some physical activities, there will be some academic activities, there will be many other activities. It will be tough, but at the end of it, just consider that everybody goes through it. So you also can do it. Okay, so do not have any hesitation. If you want to join the armed forces, let me assure you, the ladies, their place in the armed forces is, very, very well looked after. And now that they have made permanent commissions also, I would urge of minds, to come to the military, whether it is Navy, Air Force, or the Army. Does it answer your question?
yes, sir. It does. It does. I would invite.
Yeah,
I want. I would.
but you would have said you would also. I would also like to add here because we have got at least 4 to 5 widows, army officers who have been martyred. Their wives they join for training as commissioned officers. So many of them are 30s, 31, and if they can do it, you can do it easily too. So don't be I'm sure that you will enjoy it at the end of the day.
Yes, I would definitely give it a thought after my
Yeah,
studies.
yeah. Thank you.
That was a really nice answer, sir. So we often find ourselves as citizens in this heated argument where we are taking sides and defending sides, that what should be the perfect way to represent patriotism. But I think that you, being a military man, or in fact any military man, has the first right to distinguish what can be patriotism. So, what, according to you, sir, is patriotism and how can it be defined or expressed?
Thank you for your question once again, Kukreti. Uh, as I said earlier, patriotism is not the preserve of the armed forces alone. And nor do we have the first right. It is just that we have a duty to do, not only duty, it should be inspired. And our training is such that we are trained to instinctively, without any consideration for the costs to ourselves, do something which you can do for the for the sovereignty of, I mean, that's how you will be trained if you join the army. So patriotism to me is about loving and doing things for your country, which necessarily do not mean just the armed forces. It is if you're a citizen. I like today's Prime Minister's speech. He, for the first time, he has also said that you have a duty to do it, duty towards the country. That's what he mentioned in the morning today. Patriotism is not about just dying for the country, Yes, if the need arises, we will. But patriotism is about loving your country and doing everything you need to do for that love of your country. That is patriotism. And of course, the military signifies in a higher platform because we take an oath that if it comes to giving our own life, we shall happily give our own life for the country. There is one oath that military takes and other professions we don't take. I mean, that we put, if you are a Hindu or a Muslim or something in Quran or Gita, we put our hand there and say that if the call is to give our life for the defense of the country, we will do so happily. I mean, that is the line which we have done, which no other service is expected to give. That is why you are saying that military is given in a little higher platform. But my interpretation is that you can do it, she can do it, everyone can be patriotic, whether you are in the armed forces or otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. It's definitely, whatever you said is definitely true that, army is, the army, navy, they are the only people who take the oath and they are the only ones who die for the country. The rest of the professions do not do that. But even
No.
if
Urva, let me tell you that in today's warfare, it will be less of military men who will die. It will be more of citizens. You have seen Japanese, the nuclear bomb in Japan, and then you have seen the 9/11. The type of warfare that we are facing today is multidimensional. You don't know who is the enemy. So therefore, everyone has to do his bit for the country, whether he is a policeman, whether he is a teacher, whether he is even a normal citizen. So everyone should be expected to do his, contribute his, has to in today's world to protect our sovereignty and our freedom.
yes, but there's also a saying that because there's the army, navy, and air force at the borders, that's why we are safe. That's why the citizens can sleep peacefully. There's a quote that goes that way, which
Yeah.
which makes us realize that they are such an important part of the country that without them, if there was a war, there would be no one to guide the people. There would be no one for us. Even in the situations like flood, they always come to help us. So it's always a proud thing that we have such good army, navy, and air force in the country.
Yeah, it is people's army. I mean, people are from, the way you're from Maharashtra?
I'm from Gujarat.
Gujarat, okay. People from Gujarat, people from Kerala, people from Bengal, people from Jammu and Kashmir, everybody is in the army and the Navy and Air Force. So, and truly, let me assure you, the teaching in the military is that you are doing a job for the country, and if you quote, niskam karm, not looking for any appreciation or anything, just the duty has to be done, and it has to be done at whatever the cost. So that is the dharma that we are imbibed with.
If you are a soldier, I had this question in my mind. If you are going on a war for the first time, what would keep you motivated as a soldier? I mean, deep down there will be some fear, definitely, that you might not come back. You might have to leave your family and go. So what keeps you calm and motivated in that situation?
Okay. Urva, thank you. That is one of the questions that many people, keep asking the military man. Firstly, in the entire Kargil War, because I have seen one proper war, and of course, insurgency, various other things I have been throughout, in Jammu and Kashmir and in the border areas. In Kargil War, the number of people killed, our soldiers killed was 527. That is, though each life matters, but do you know how many road accidents people die in Indian roads?
That's definitely.
In a year, more than 100,000. So I am giving this. I mean, there are and so many murders, so many things happening, but notwithstanding that, the sense of duty is one, which divides sense of camaraderie, means togetherness, that if I am in danger, my friend will help me, my commander will help me, I'll give you a small example. During Kargil war, one of my havaldars got lost and he had gone into Pakistan. And we were very worried that, he might be captured. He along with two other guys. We were in contact. I was not in contact with him, but he was in contact with the major who was serving under me. So he told the major that don't worry, साहब, ये हमारा commanding officer साहब है, means that is me. जब तक वो जिंदा है वो हमको जरूर लेने आएंगे. मतलब he has that faith in the camaraderie that yes, my officer will do this for me. My friend will do this. This is one of the major factors. As you said rightly, who is not afraid of bombings and killings and firing and all that? That is, the risk is very, very high. But what makes people go together is that the inner strength, the camaraderie, the team spirit, and also the friendship that has been made, that if something happens, see, he's there to, the fellow on my right is there to, assist me. So that is another big factor. Of course, the training and his belief. Above all, it is that he's fighting a just war. That we are putting our life at risk for a just cause. We are on the side of the truth. We are on the side of the God. God has given us this task and we have to do it. So these are some of the factors that bind us together, and Indian Army, Indian Air Force, Indian Navy will not fail in their mission in future as well. Kukriti, I was expecting more questions from others.
Sir, the thing is that we have to ensure that we ask some questions with network stability so that the flow of the event does not break. So we gathered a lot of questions from a lot of different people, and we are being the medium to ask those questions to you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I completely agree with the fact that you said that military personnel has that faith or blind belief in the organization, in the structure of the military, that they are willing to sacrifice their life, having the faith that their superior officer will also do the same for them. And that is a feeling which is very difficult to instill. But once you have this pride in knowing that you are helping the true and the noble cause, you become sort of unstoppable. Sir, one thing we believe is that sometimes, or I don't know, maybe a lot of times, the diplomatic relations between two countries might not align with the military ideology of that particular contingent who's facing that adverse situation or face off with another country. So, how are you able to keep your task force or your contingent motivated through such adverse times where the policies are not allowing you to work with complete freedom, or you're not able to execute your will?
Very good question. I didn't expect this from a technocrat. Good. Such questions come from, students of geopolitics, students of international relations. Good. The question is very interesting. I'll make a very simple answer. We, in the military, we take oaths to the Constitution of India. We are there to defend the country as desired by the people of India. And the people of India is represented by the Prime Minister or Cabinet Committee on Security. What they say is ultimate, that is final. The Cabinet Committee on Security, in fact, this thing is that to declare war is the president of the country on the advice of Prime Minister and his Cabinet Committee on Security. So we take it that whatever they say, we have to do it. So, but we do not know what they are going to tell us. We do not know when they are going to tell us. We do not know what kind of a situation is going to come in front of us. Therefore, the military has to be prepared at all times for all eventualities. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, everything. That is why a lot of people ask me, फौज जो है क्या करते हैं if अगर लड़ाई नहीं होता है. In fact, 50% of our force is forever in operations. 50%. At any one time, they are engaged somewhere. Maybe the borders, maybe J&K, maybe the Northeast, maybe abroad fighting some wars, United Nations mandated, or saving some lives. So therefore, we take orders from the people of India, who is represented by the Prime Minister and with his cabinet. Since we are not privy to what they are likely to tell us or what situation is likely to develop in a very short time, we have to be prepared for all contingencies. So therefore, when you say that, in the neighboring countries, we may not agree, therefore there is a constant interaction between the government and the military. They take our advice. Sometimes they overrule our advice. But we know that they overrule means the people of India overruled us. And we take oath to the Constitution of India, and we take oath that whatever our elected representative or people of India tells us, we will do it. It is not the government of the day. Let me make it very clear. We don't recognize, or we don't say it is a BJP government, it is a Congress, it is the no. We say who is the Prime Minister and Cabinet who tells us right now. But at the same time, let me assure you that military also has the capability, if some orders are not in consonance with the Constitution of India, we have the right to suggest other means to achieve the objectives. Okay?
Sir, like when we hear from you, we get to know the difference between the perspective of a common man and the difference between the perspective of a military man. For us, this thing meant that there are a lot of government policies or diplomatic relations which are to be met. But now I hope it's clear for everyone and for me as well that the mindset the military carries is that it's not the few selected people who are speaking. It's the people of India who are speaking via the medium of those few selected people. And I think with that mindset, it is like not a big deal to not be able to achieve anything. Anything can be achieved. I think Urva has the next question.
Sir, as you right now, you just talked about that the military would be working even when there is no war. But we see like there are a lot of people, lot of politicians, and lot of famous people who tweet so many things about the military. Not
Just a second, Sir might have some network issues.
Yeah, sir might have some network issues. Guys, please wait. We'll wait for sir to join the meeting. Hello, sir. Welcome back. Sir, are we audible?
Sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Okay. Sorry, there was some connection issue. Yeah. What was the last question?
no problem, sir. Actually, I was asking that you said that the military would be working even when there is no war going on. And we see a lot of people tweeting a lot of things, a lot of politicians tweeting a lot of things, questioning the army. What is that one basic thing that you wish that the civilians understood about the military? One thing that you wish the civilians understood that the military is doing, or one thing that we don't know.
Uh, can you just repeat the question because I think I missed out the second sentence.
Yes, sir. I was asking that since you talked about the military working even when there is no war going on in the country, and it works like most of the time, it's just it's a working unit like most of the services. So I would want to ask you, like, a lot of people tweet a lot of things, a lot of politicians question army a lot of times. What is that one basic thing that you wish the civilians understood about the military? You get it, sir?
Sir is having some network issues. Kindly bear with us as we try to get it resolved.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, you're audible now.
Okay, okay. I'm so sorry for this connection, some issue.
It's a
Okay.
problem we all face, sir. Not a big issue.
Okay.
It's a problem that we all face. We are just
Okay.
lucky that we don't have it today.
See, when there is no war, as I said, your question is, what are the military doing when there is no war? Is it?
No, sir. Yeah, my question is like, there are a lot of people who question the military. So, what is that one thing that you wish the civilians understood about the military?
Okay, okay, okay. I think questioning the army or the navy or air force is quite valid because, firstly, it is yearly budget of something like 2.5 lakh crores are being spent on the defense forces. So therefore, every citizen has the right to question, and the right to question about what we are doing, and that must be that is my view. Having said that, I must say that what I would like the civil non-military people to know is that there should be awareness about what the military does. What the military does, because firstly, the military is not very fond of public relations. We are not, and by training and by this thing, we don't come to the media very often, and nor are we interested. But some people say that you should have media savvy. It should be done because otherwise, how will people know? So we leave it to others, to know what we are doing, because we are not necessarily very interested in people knowing what we are doing. But in today's connected world, people do expect that they should know what military is doing. What I would like the civilian people to know is that the military needs support from the public. Otherwise, they cannot they cannot do what they are supposed to do, or their productivity will decrease. So I think that is the only thing that I would recommend the civilians to know, is that just remember that protecting the freedom or sovereignty requires the civilian support from everybody, and then military will have more motivated motivation, and also they will be more equipped to do their job that they are supposed to do.
Yes, sir, I understand you, but I also believe that we should trust our forces. I strongly believe that our forces are doing for us. We should fully trust them and not question them each and every time. What I believe.
Yeah, thank you. But let me assure you that in the military also have various branches. The Indian defense, we have 30% of our budget is to various civilian organizations. Like we have the DRDO, we have the border roads, we have so. They are also funded by the Ministry of Defense budget. So I cannot speak about them, but I'm speaking about the pure uniform personnel. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Sir, it was good to know about what contributions we as civilians can make towards you being more confident and more proud of serving our nation. Sir, I also had one question talking about the book that you've authored, Making of a General. What was the main motivation behind authoring penning down such a good book?
Thank you. Thank you very much. For an author,
if someone reads the book, there is nothing which makes me more happy than someone reading my book. Have you read my book?
So we came to know about it just before this event was being organized, but I'm sure that we'll be purchasing the books and going through there.
Why I wrote that book is that I come from a very, very remote village in the state of Manipur. Grew up in a very, very, isolated environment in a village school. And I never, even my teachers, none of them were even, 10th standard pass. So from that, the journey of being in the military, becoming an officer, how you became an officer, then, in the Kargil war, thereafter rise to the first Lieutenant General of Northeast India. That I thought I must share it with the people and for the young people. How dedication, it is not, I'm not saying that I was 100% dedicated. I also had my share of fun, enjoyment, and miscalculations of life. All that I have reflected in the book, that these are the mistakes I did, these are good things I tried to do. So all this I thought, let me share it so that it is for the younger generations to imbibe. I mean, some of what I went through, if they could, and yet be successful. This is the lesson that I wanted to share with the younger generations, particularly from the Northeast India, with whom I share some kind of a background, in life. So, and also I also had some ideas about the military functioning and other things. So I thought, let me also share my views with the military, future military leaders. That's why I wrote that book. And various other operational issues of, right from Northeast, Mizoram, Nagaland, Manipur, Assam and Sikkim and Jammu and Kashmir. All this journey, people should know how the military officer functions, as also if you are dedicated, if you are sincere, if you are true to yourself, you still have a chance to rise to the rank of Lieutenant General, which is respectable in a way. Thank you.
Yes,
Does it answer your query,Okrati?
Along with answering my query, it fuels the thirst for me to read this book as well. So that was a very interesting answer.
Thank you.
And it is just like a legacy that you will be passing on to the future leaders in military, so that they can learn from your mistakes and your enjoyments and can have their own, tailor their own experience.
Tailor their own destiny. Yeah.
So that is a very good thing, sir.
Very sweet of you. Very sweet of you.
Also, sir, you said that you did some miscalculations, but I feel that everyone does that, and everyone has some fun part in their life. And without nobody is perfect. Everyone's life is goes up and down, so nothing is perfect. I feel.
Yeah.
Also, sir, as soon as I heard about your book, I went to Google and started searching about it, and I read so many positive responses and positive reviews about your book. How did you feel reading those positive messages? And and it will definitely motivate many people to join the military and serve the country. I feel it will give them the idea of how military would be and how things would be, and it would definitely help them.
Yeah, thank you very much for your comments, Ms. Dave. Thank you very much. And let me also add here that where I keep saying that women, I mean, there is no bar to your joining the military as officers. In fact, We want more women. Actually, they bring a little more stability, in any organization, because sometimes we tend to have super ego, at the higher level, like, the levels that I was in, the power gets into your head, and sometimes, one has to remind oneself, and so your family, your wife, they get you down to the ground level, they bring you down to the ground level. So that kind of environment, the ladies, even the, lady officers also give the male officers a sense of, humanity, sense of stability also. So you must tell your friends that join the military. Okay, so I'm very passionate about the military. So, one of my job is to tell all the friends here that, try joining the military, and you will see a different world altogether.
Yes, sir. I'm sure everyone here would be really motivated right now, and I'm sure that someone would apply. And even I'm like really motivated to join as of now, listening to you, sir.
A really small side note, sir. Uh, I'm sure all of us crave good military stories of valor and bravery, along with some enjoyments. So, can we get a sneak peek into some of the stories that you might have written in the book?
Oh, there are some stories which are very, very interesting about, since you are from the hills, I was climbing Kanchenjunga, in 1987. I was one of the members, and I fell inside a crevasse. And I was hanging, about 20 feet inside a crevasse. If you all know what is crevasse, it's uh, very few people come out alive. It's a gaping hole in the ice sheet, in the glaciers. So I have described that, but when you, and things like, during the Siachen glacier, spending time, the Pakistanis did not allow me to come out of an ice cave. I had to spend there for 3 days and 3 nights, because they came to know someone important has gone into that area, so they kept on pounding with the mortars and the artillery shells, So I had to inside, and I was enjoying with my troops inside that small ice cave. So these are very interesting stories, I thought, Of course, that time it was, I felt, what will happen if something happened, But having overcome that together with my troops, then you start reflecting, the joy of life, joy of living, the very fact that you can breathe, you can breathe after oxygen itself. I mean, I was Siachen Glacier, we were in 15, 20,000 feet. So coming back to Delhi, my family was in Delhi that time. I required nothing. I was so happy with life that we are able to breathe, oxygen. So, you expect so little from life. Then you start thinking, what is this, about our wealth and fame and all this. It appeared to me it was non-issue at all, But let me tell you one funny side of the, since you want to hear something interesting, we were, I was a young major in, line of control in Punch. So you must have heard about one Gen VK Singh, who is a minister now, who was army chief. Gen VK Singh is Minister of Civil Aviation today. He was army chief also. So he was a captain, I was a second lieutenant in Punch, 1978. So he was a commando type. I was junior to him. And we said, okay, let's go to one place. And by mistake, we landed up in just near a Pakistani post. We didn't realize that we have lost way. And that Pakistani soldier, he abused us in choices of Punjabis, and we ran when we ran, and so General VK Singh is so such stories also I have written in my book. And there's another story about when I was a young major, one bear, Bhalu. He he came, and it was slightly warm during those days in Rajouri, Ponch, Rajouri, Ponch. So our boys were sleeping outside, and our Rajasthani boys and Haryana boys, they have a habit of smoking biri those days, at night before sleeping. So one of the bear was sleeping alongside. So one of my Jawans thought that the bear was one of his friends, so he passed the biri to that bear, And that bear, seeing the fire, he slapped him and clawed him in his face. So there are, and everyone will have a very funny stories of this kind. And of course, in my book, I have just brought out a few of them. But the military life is so full of humor at times. In fact, it is quite a humor. In fact, if you take things too seriously, you can't sail through. Everything should be taken like a game, game of that, okay, you might lose sometimes, you might win sometimes, and then you just sail through, okay. So there are some of the interesting, but since it is a memoir, I had to touch upon many issues, so I didn't write many of those. Okay, Kukreti?
Yes, sir. Quite a daredevil life that you have lived throughout your career.
Yeah, and no, I'm teaching now in a university. I'm a visiting professor in a department of national security, because having lived so active in life, one wants to do something. So I'm teaching. I started this department also in a central university here. So you have to get rid of your ego, just have an aim, just get some inspiration within, and then work towards it. I mean, that's the message that, I was trying to get in my book.
Yeah, and I'm sure you might have carried it wonderfully in the book. We'll get to know once we read it.
Yes,
Over
sir.
to Urva now.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure everyone here is loved that story, and I really want to read this book now. I'm sure everybody here wants to read it ASAP as well.
Oh, I can send it if you want. Otherwise, in Amazon, you'll get it very easily.
We'll get it from Amazon. It's easy to order from there. Sir, actually, we are running out of time, and we just last one question that we would like to ask you. So, what advice would you like to give the young generation to become good leaders?
Good leaders.
Yes.
In fact, this is a fantastic question. I was expecting this. A good leader, no matter whether you are in the Army, Navy, Air Force, a teacher, or a student, a leader is a leader. And a leader has to have the capability, courage of conviction. A leader has to have the integrity. A leader has to have the character to walk the talk, to do what he thinks is right, and no matter who follows him, he does things what he thinks is right. And he's a true leader, someone who can convince others. But there are various types of leaders. Leadership of combat, leadership in the management, leadership in, so on. So depending on the situation, the leader emerges. But the basic characteristics is the leader has to be strong intellectually, physically, morally, and also the leader doesn't give up. He walks the talk and he does not give up. If he falls, he gets up. So I think this is what I would say about if you want to be a leader, train yourself, make yourself strong physically, mentally, spiritually, and you prepare yourself to take the position. In fact, let me tell you that we are looking for leaders, we are looking for people, men and women, who can lead others. And the most important quality to my mind is that mental strength, spiritual strength, and physical strength. And of course, the strength of character. Thank you.
Yes, we would definitely keep that in mind. And whichever field we progress in, if if we lead something, we would definitely keep this in mind and follow all these things.
Thank
you.
Urva, really sorry to interrupt you, but I couldn't hold myself back from asking just one last question to you, sir. So we've heard that you've won a lot of medals about valor and bravery from the president itself. So what was your experience before and after winning a bravery medal from the president? What changes did it bring to your life?
Chandra says, I won many awards, but I truly felt that it is the men whom I commanded. They deserve the credit, not me. I did my job. What I felt is I did my job, and somebody decided to recognize me. The credit goes to all those people who served with me, under me. They are the ones who did. And being a leader, I got the recognition. And lastly, I don't want to sound too much of spirituality, but I truly felt that such recognitions are welcome, but I am no less without them. You are one, there's, even if it didn't come, I think we are beyond that. That's what I truly felt. I'm not telling you lies, but I felt that yes, someone has recognized me because my subordinates, people under me, they did something good in war or other arena, and I got the credit. Even if it didn't come, it wouldn't have mattered much. It makes you happy for that moment that the President of India pins you a medal 4 times. So I feel good. President of India pins up, some medal on your chest 4 times is not easy. But truly, even if I didn't meet the president, even if I didn't have the medals, nothing would have changed. I would have been as happy. But the credit definitely goes to the men whom I commanded.
Anyone can say 10 different lines about how to become a good leader, but it is only a true leader who can demonstrate with live examples how to be a perfect leader. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. Now we'll have Urva giving the vote of thanks, which will be followed by the national anthem.
Thank you.
I would like to present the vote of thanks, sir. Independence is a thing that is dearly held to every person, as it is an assurance of one's self-identity, being free enough to be sustainable as a country, and it is a luxury made possible by hard sacrifices, so we can always choose our path as a nation. Keeping this in mind, VIT LEO Club is proud to have celebrated Independence Day, a day with profound meaning for our nation, with such incredible enthusiasm and vigor. On the behalf of LEO Club, I would like to extend my vote of thanks to all the people who helped me make this event a memorable one. First and foremost, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to Lieutenant General Dr. K. Himalay Singh for his kind and inspirational words in his esteemed guest talk. We were deeply motivated and amazed by your experience, and your endless determination definitely helped us crave for a good path in future. It was a wonderfully engaging session, and we feel illuminated by your captivating and heartfelt words. I'd like to thank you for taking your time out and for motivating us and making us feel more proud of our dear motherland. The talk about your struggles, your journey, and your endless perseverance has truly captivated our hearts and minds. I would also like to thank Dr. C.D. Naiju sir, the dignitaries of Vellore host, and K.C. Sri Haripriya ma'am, and the entire audience for taking the time out and blessing us and blessing the day with their gracious presence. It was an honor having you here with us on this glorious day. I also extend my gratitude to everyone from different states of our country for showing up to celebrate the Independence Day with us and sharing their respective cultural dresses and languages. One of the most beautiful things about our motherland is the diversity that can be discovered here. Many different cultures thriving together as a nation, eloquently shown by the people in our Independence Day cultural event. We are all united and call for freedom and for call for freedom began, and many decades later, we are still proud to be united and free. It is this moment of pride knowing that no matter how far apart we are from each other, we stand united and faithful to our national anthem. With our blood full of passion and pride for the country, our home, even today, our varied culture, heritage, achievements, and our struggle inspire us and help us progress and improve for a better future. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for gathering here and thank you so much. I'm really grateful to everyone who attended this meeting. Now, I'd request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.